Okay, welcome to block 9. Block 9 is the last block for the block series that we're doing, and next week we're going to move on to something different. So some people brought in some great examples of block 8 if you haven't got there yet. And here's some. Not that one. That's 7. That's my 8. It's not together yet. I've had a lot of stuff come up this week. So they turned out really good. And I also wanted to thank you all that you're sending me pictures of your blocks together, because I'm getting to see the different fabrics that you've used and how they're blending. Some of them, you know, I thought, oh, I wonder if those are going to go. And then you send me a picture of them all together, and they're just wonderful. So really, thank you so much for that. And I'm still figuring in my mind and trying to figure out, usually when we do a mystery quilt, at the end of it, we have a big reveal party and everybody brings their quilt. Well, we can't do that this time. I don't know, maybe we'll put chairs in the parking lot and have a piñata. I don't know what we'll do, but I'm kind of sad that that isn't going to be at the end of this series, but we'll think of something really cool. So to block 9, there are quite a few little pieces. You'll also notice when I email you your instructions on this one that I've written in some different things that I'm hoping will make it a little easier to figure how it goes together. So we are starting out, and you will cut 4 of your L1 and 4 of your L3 in 2.5-inch squares. You're going to take your 1/4-inch seam marker and mark it, sew them face to face, and you come up with a little itty bitty little half-square triangle that you're going to make even smaller. You're going to square it up to 2 inches. So here it is right here. You are going to cut 12 of your L1 2-inch squares. In this first part, you will not use all 12 of them. You will be using those in another part of the quilt, and I'll point that out. But you are going to take these 2-inch squares, your L1s, and you're going to be sewing them to these little half-square triangles. Now the trick here is there's a left side and a right side of your half-square triangles. That's one of the things I marked on your new sheets so that you could see these go in different directions, and that's very important. Okay, so these are going to end up placed here in the quilt. And I'll mention them again when we get ready to sew them to something else. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to be making flying geese. So you are going to cut 12 of your light 1. You are going to cut 8 of your light 3 and 8 of your light 5. These are 2-inch squares. These are 2 by 3.5-inch rectangles. So you are going to take these pieces and you are going to sew them on and make flying geese. You will end up with 4 that have your L3. Mine, this happens to be the teal here. So when I get the second little square on, I'm going to have a flying geese piece. I'm going to have 4 of my light 3, and I'm going to have 4 of my light 5. Okay? You are also going to cut 1 3.5-inch square of your L3. So what we are going to take and do with this, oh, I left a step up. So you are going to take your flying geese, and you are going to take these 2 by 3.5-inch rectangles, and you are going to sew them onto your flying geese. Again, you want to make sure that you're sewing this piece, your solid piece, on the right side. It goes on the point of your flying geese. Okay? So, you're going to take your pink flying geese and they are going to get sewn to your center square. This would be your L5, sorry, it may not be pink. You are going to take some of these leftover 2-inch squares we had over here, and you're going to sew them to each side of your L3, L5 flying geese. And this is going to make your center square. It's this piece right here and this piece right here. Okay? Then we are going to take our 4 light 3 that we have sewn the green strip on, and we're going to take these little guys over here that are left and right hand sides, and we are going to come over here and we are going to sew these together. Oh, you know what I left out of over there? You're going to have 4 3.5 squares of your L1, and these are going to be your cornerstones. So when you get the left side and the right side sewn to your L3 flying geese, you're going to end up with it like this when you put your side on. So that's going to be this strip here and this strip here. So you already have this inside constructed. So the way you're going to construct this is exactly the same way. You are going to take this flying geese unit, and you're going to take these that you've made, and is it this one or the other one? Yep, other one. And you're going to sew these together, and then you'll sew them to your center block that's already sewn together. So you'll get this part right here. Now we're talking about rows again. So you can sew the center section here onto your top row and your bottom row. So keep in mind, you don't use all the pieces right away, and they will come later in your instructions. And square up on your diagonal line. And I think that does it. Block 9.
It does look complicated.
It's not, if you take it, somebody made a comment, it sounds complicated. It's a little more complicated than some of the others we've done, but if you take it in steps, if you follow the instructions and you make these little guys first, so you have them, and then you do your flying geese and sew these to the L3 ones here. And then the first step that we did, and put these together, then it's going to be pretty obvious what's going on. I tried a lot of different ways until I went, well, I'm just going to sew this left and right hand sides onto this. And then when it got to be a solid block, it made more sense up here. If anybody has any problems, call or come in, okay? I think once you get into it, it's not as complicated as you think. There's 3 lights in this block, so check it out that you like your 3 lights together. I think the pink shows up fine next to this greenish shade, but my teal doesn't show up well. I'm going to change that out, I think, to a different color. Because it's a really pretty block when you get the different movement going on, but like in mine it's not showing. So before you get too far, you cut them all, you may want to try and decide, are all my values too much the same, doing 3 lights? Do I want to change something up maybe to be more of an accent? Which is okay. So far as I've seen, these patterns give us enough fabric that we can do a couple of change-ups.
I changed mine.
Julie Ray changed hers
Well,
because
and my lights are basically all
whites, yeah.
except one of them, but I don't remember.
Did
So-
we use L1, L3, and L5 together in a previous block?
I don't think we've used those 3 combinations.
I think it was very close though, because that's partly why I changed mine up, is it looks a lot like another block I did, but also the color I switched out was so insipid that you lost it. And so I switched it up for another color and I have a lot more contrast now.
But did you use another color
A light,
of one that you've already used?
yeah,
Did that come out right?
yeah, I did. I mean, I
I think it
switched
was-
what should have been a lavender color for this aqua. But I've used the lavender before.
Yeah.
Julie,
Because
Ray,
mine,
I think that, the block in your column 2, row 3, has L1, 3, and 5. The pinwheel.
No,
One of them's
it's
a
a
dark.
dark, yeah. So
Oh.
just take a look at your 3 lights, see if the values are too close. And again, we're open for discussion. And next week, we're gonna do something a little bit different. So thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.